Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And as you guys know, a huge blockbuster trade went down in the NBA world a few days ago. Obviously, the Kyrie Irving trade, but Kevin Durant being traded to the Phoenix Suns is the biggest one of all because I'm sure tons of initial reactions from NBA fans out there, if it's from 29 other NBA teams besides the Phoenix Suns or just all 30 NBA teams, including Phoenix Suns fans as well. It's just like the Phoenix Suns are going to be holding up that Larry O'Brien trophy. And don't get me wrong, this team looks like they're going to be absolutely dominant, and they do have a chance to go on and hold up that Larry O'Brien trophy, compete with the Golden State Warriors, compete with the Denver Nuggets when they're a healthy group. The Dallas Mavericks, we'll see what happens with them, but we won't know until it actually comes playoff time how these teams overcome adversity with injuries. How's the chemistry going to be? The second unit, how are they going to step up? The guys that have been playing like superstars all season, are they going to show it when it comes playoff time, make the right reads? There's tons of things that go into trying to win a Larry O'Brien trophy, or actually holding up that Larry O'Brien trophy after Game 7 or Game 6 ends, whatever game it goes to when it comes to the NBA Finals. But when you just think of Devin Booker, you think of Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, all on one roster. You have Deandre Ayton that you still are able to hold on to as well. Torrey Craig, who's a scrappy defensive player. He's been shooting it very well from the outside, 41%. But the craziest thing I really thought of is back this past summer when Kevin Durant requested a trade and one of his preferred destinations was actually the Phoenix Suns. So this is an organization that he definitely wants to go to, and he has a lot of respect for Devin Booker on top of that. But then Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were like, you know what, let's try to figure it out. And they got off to a very good start this season. They're the 5th seed. Obviously, Kevin Durant goes down with that injury. They fire Steve Nash, but Jacque Vaughn's doing an unbelievable job. And I'm like, they have the depth. Maybe this team has a different feel. But once you think they have it going, like getting it together, Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they just didn't play a lot of games together. I believe they only played a total of like 86 games together. An injury would always get in the way, or some drama off the court, or something Kyrie had to do. It was just like, it was a total disaster. Only winning one series, which was a first round matchup. They didn't go really far. It was a complete failed super team. So the Nets, Kyrie Irving requests this trade. They go on to trade him, and then the Nets are just like, the chemistry's not there. We're not well run right now. These guys aren't going to be here long term. Let's trade Kevin Durant. Let's try to get these long term pieces. So this huge trade goes down. It's a four team deal because the Milwaukee Bucks actually came in as well. They acquired Jay Crowder and all that. So the Suns received Kevin Durant, TJ Warren. The Nets received Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, 2023 first-round draft pick from Phoenix, 2025 first-round draft pick from Phoenix, 2027 first-round draft pick from Phoenix, 2028 first-round pick swap from Phoenix, 2028 second-round pick from Milwaukee, 2029 first-round pick from Phoenix, 2029 second-round pick from Milwaukee. The Bucks received Jay Crowder. Pacers received George Hill, Serge Ibaka, Jordan Nwora, 3 future second-round picks from Milwaukee, and cash considerations from Brooklyn. So there's definitely a lot to unfold there. The Nets, they got tons of draft capital for the future, and those picks could be huge if you want to trade for a star in the future, trade up in the draft. And because the Nets are pretty successful this season, it's going to be hard. Like, yeah, they're going to fall off because they're not going to have Kyrie or Kevin Durant, but I did see them compete very hard up against Philly, beat the Chicago Bulls. I know the Chicago Bulls aren't this awesome team this season, but they still have tons of talent. And seeing that these role players are very quality players that may not be all-stars or still performing at a pretty high level and equaling damn near winning basketball, that's credit to Jacque Vaughn. Like, they went down the wire up against the Philadelphia 76ers last night with Joel Embiid, with James Harden. Yes, you could say there's some questions if that team is mentally tough of the Philadelphia 76ers, but Mikal Bridges has been Mr. Reliable throughout his career. When he missed that one game, when he first got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, it wasn't his fault. He literally just got traded. Can't expect him to play right away. He did play last night, but he didn't have any grasp of the playbook. He didn't know the system at all. So I was like, of course he's not going to play. But he hasn't missed a game due to injury since college. This dude's Mr. Reliable, ridiculously long wingspan, over a 7-foot wingspan, could defend multiple positions. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. He's expanded his scoring game every year, going from 8 points per game his rookie year to averaging damn near 18 points. He lights it up from the outside. He's starting to improve when it comes to, or he's improved getting to that mid-range. He's athletic. Like, I love Mikal Bridges. He's a mentally tough player. He's a competitor. So that is going to be a big loss for the Phoenix Suns, but you're going to have to give up a guy like Mikal Bridges if you want to get one of the best players in the game of Kevin Durant. But he's definitely going to be missed when it comes to the locker room. Mikal Bridges is one hell of a player. Jay Crowder went on to be dealt, obviously, to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that's a sneaky good pickup for the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Phoenix Suns also acquire a guy of TJ Warren, And I thought that was a good move that they're able to get him in the deal, because when you're losing some depth, you definitely need to get some depth. You have to add some depth. Yes, TJ Warren needs to stay healthy, but when healthy, he's proven that he could score the heck out of the basketball. And he's actually been with the Phoenix Suns before. They lose Cam Johnson, who was pretty important when it came to the NBA Finals run. His ability to shoot the heck out of the basketball, improving on the defense side of the basketball, sneaky athleticism. He's had some. I remember he had a really cool poster in one of those series when they did go to the NBA Finals but lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. So Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, those could be pretty big losses. But you look at the projected starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns of a Chris Paul, of a Devin Booker, Torrey Craig, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. That looks like a freaking damn good starting five. And a lot of people are making fun of like Torrey Craig being in that starting lineup, but you need one of those scrappy, mentally tough players. Torrey Craig is a solid player in this league. He's not good. He's not great, but he does the little things that result in winning basketball. He's really scrappy. He fights for those 50-50 balls. He competes very hard defensively. He's a strong dude. He's shooting one of his best from three, shooting 41% from three, so that's another floor spacer and a mentally tough player to have out there on the floor. They have the coach, in my opinion, of Monty Williams. He's been one hell of a coach for the Phoenix Suns, really turning this team around. But it comes down to injuries. Can this team stay healthy? And the chemistry. Kevin Durant's getting up there in age, but we've seen him go down with these injuries that have been scary. Chris Paul getting up there in age. During that finals run, he wasn't fully healthy. Remember, he couldn't even shoot a jump shot to one point. I believe his shoulder was messed up. Like, he wasn't able to shoot a jump shot. Obviously gets a lot of crap for like saying he's this choker if it's the Clippers days. He didn't step up in the NBA Finals and all that. But will this team be healthy when it comes playoff time? But you have Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton's not going to be asked to do as much. I think he's going to kind of accept at this point kind of an Andrew Wiggins role that Andrew Wiggins had with the Golden State Warriors, how he was so successful in the NBA Finals, helping beat the Boston Celtics. It's like, put the ego aside, put what you were in high school aside, college aside, how you're supposed to be the next big thing. DeAndre Ayton's supposed to be the next Joel Embiid. Andrew Wiggins supposed to be, some people thought, the next Kobe, next LeBron. That's how insane the hype Andrew Wiggins had coming out of high school, being this number one pick coming out of Kansas. It comes down to playing your role, being aggressive, being engaged on the defense side of the basketball. And I want to see more aggression. I want to see momentum changing plays more from DeAndre Ayton. Yes, he alters shots, but he doesn't have those crazy, consistent, impactful blocks. And yes, it's good to alter shots, but sometimes having a big-time block leading to a bucket in transition could change the momentum throughout a game. And I still think he's a very quality player. I think his defense, some people that say his defense isn't that good, honestly don't watch the game, in my opinion. He's a physical dude that's pretty solid defending the perimeter. He's not some elite defense player. He's a pretty damn good defense player. I want to say he's great, but he's more of a finesse defense player. He's not crazy, impactful, just relies on strength on defense as much as you would like him to. So it comes down to the consistent motor with Ayton, but he's shown that he can knock down that mid-range jumper. If it's a jab step, fade away, him rolling to the basket. He's never expanded that three-point game like you would like, but he's still a beast on the boards, and it comes down to really him using that physicality when it matters most. But there's going to be less pressure on Ayton on the offense side of the basketball now that you have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, both in the starting lineup, guys that are going to be those top options. And Chris Paul, he's such a great manipulator with his eyes when it comes to reading defenses and making beautiful passes out there on the floor. I think the pick and roll is going to be absolutely awesome with different types of personnel. Adding Kevin Durant, what are they going to add to the offense? And I think Monty Williams is definitely this innovative mind. He's not afraid to try new things as a coach as well. That's what I really respect about him. Up there with the Nick Nurse when it comes to not being afraid to try new things. But when it comes down to the wire, is it going to be Devin Booker? Is it going to be Kevin Durant that gets the basketball? Obviously, we need this team to stay healthy, and hopefully they're healthy playoff time. But Kevin Durant has hit big shots throughout his career. He hit a big-time ceiling shot up against the Cleveland Cavaliers to hold up that Larry O'Brien trophy. We could say he's taken the easy way out, but he's still averaging 30 points per game this season. This team's going to be pretty good defensively when it comes to that starting lineup. Chris Paul's kind of lost his step a little bit when it comes to on-ball defense, but he could pick your pocket as well. He's been in the league for a good amount of times. Devin Booker has improved to a good defender. He's not a great defender. Kevin Durant, same thing. I feel that's always been an overlooked part of his game because he's such a great scorer of the basketball. But you're adding a player of Kevin Durant that can knock down threes effortlessly in transition, mid-range. I barely need to speak on it, but it's just insane how he's able to knock down these fadeaways, get to the basket. And it's just the defense is going to attract on him even more, which is going to open up more for a Devin Booker, open up more quality shots for Chris Paul when it comes to mid-range territory as well. So I do like that starting lineup. It's pretty damn solid defensively. I'm expecting it to be elite offensively with the playmaking of Chris Paul, the shot creation of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and then Ayton's ability to score from mid-range and utilize his athleticism inside, just be consistently engaged. That's what I'm asking from Deandre Ayton. So when you look at the bench, this bench needs to be healthy playoff time. Cameron Payne, as of right now, when I'm filming this video, he is out, and I like him as a backup point guard. Yes, he's a little undersized, but he's aggressive as an on-ball defender. But when there is switches, obviously guys are going to take advantage of his size, but he's very slippery. He's crafty when it comes to finishing at the basket. I think the point guard position is solidified for the backup point guard position. I think having Cameron Payne as a backup point guard is good enough to win an NBA Finals. From mid-range, from three-point, makes decent reads out there on the floor. They have Landry Shamet that's out with an injury as of right now, but will it be Damian Lee or Landry Shamet when it comes to that two position, when it comes to that backup unit? I'm really interested to see how they're going to utilize that when it comes playoff time. But Damian Lee is kind of what I expected Landry Shamet to be, because Damian Lee has been a more consistent shooter of the ball. He's shooting 46% from three right now as of when I'm recording this video. He's shooting 46% from three, which is an insane clip, which I didn't expect Landry Shamet to shoot 46% from three at the NBA level. Obviously, shot it very well with Philly, and he's proven to be a good shooter, but coming out of Wichita State, I was very high on his ability to shoot the ball, but defensively, kind of lacks the athleticism, lacks the strength. He could defend the perimeter, but when it comes to dribble penetration inside, he definitely can be taken advantage of. But you have the shooting there of Damian Lee, or even an Okogie. Josh Okogie has proven that he could be the scrappy defensive player that I would like playoff time for the Phoenix Suns to put in there and give you some energy. I'm not completely sold on Ish Wainwright when it comes to playoff time. You're still going to need like the consistent bucket getters of creating the shot. TJ Warren, you're definitely going to have to need playoff time when it comes to shot creation. I would have TJ Warren out there. I would definitely have Cameron Payne out there for offensive purposes. Damian Lee isn't going to consistently knock down that three-point shot like he is this season. I'd be really surprised if that three-point shot just consistently just falls off. But because he's been such a threat from the outside, he can add that pump fake, which can get the defense in the air because he's such a threat of shooting the ball. They're going to try to chase him off the three-point line and then get that easy slash to the basket. But they have TJ Warren that's able to score the ball. I like their bench. I'm not completely in love with their bench when it comes to backup center position. Bismack Biyombo, Jock Landale. Landale's kind of limited athletically, but he plays very hard. He fights for rebounds. He has solid instincts defensively and good fundamentals. He just doesn't have this crazy upside. Obviously, you're not expecting a crazy upside from a backup center. He is quality, but I think he's kind of going to be taken advantage of in pick and rolls. How is he going to defend the pick and roll when it comes playoff time? He could be sloppy with the ball at times. Has solid footwork, but do you roll with the veteran of Bismack Biyombo that's 30 years old? He is stronger out there on the floor as well. This Phoenix Suns team is very interesting. Will they possibly go to the finals? Yeah, probably. If healthy, they definitely have a shot. Will it be the Nuggets that get in the way? Will it be the Golden State Warriors that get in the way? Maybe it's the Dallas Mavericks. How awesome would that be if the Dallas Mavericks meet the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals? You never know when it comes to teams, because there's going to be injuries. What team's going to be able to overcome adversity? Like when it comes to first, second round, there's injuries. Are they still going to be able to win, come out victorious in the NBA Finals time? They get all healthy, and then they're absolutely deadly. The chemistry. I'm very interested to see what the Phoenix Suns look like down the stretch of games. This should be an awesome team to watch, and that's why I love the NBA. Yes, some people don't like it, like players go all over the place. But just seeing this Phoenix Suns team, a small market team, hopefully they're able to hold up that Larry O'Brien trophy for the first time in history. You know, Charles Barkley wasn't able to bring it home up against that Michael Jordan-led Bulls team, which is very difficult to do. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, shout out to Kevin Johnson and all that. But I'm excited. Let me know down below your thoughts. Do you think this team is the title favorites? And peace out, y'all.